एक बड़ी ख़ास पर्सनालिटी से आपकी मुलाकात करवाते हैं। रेसिंग के शौकीन हजरात जो है वो तैयार हो जाए इस सेगमेंट के लिए। इनाम अहमद से हम आपकी मुलाकात करवाते हैं। ये एक ऐसा शख्स है, एक ऐसा लड़का है, पाकिस्तानी लड़का है, इस वक्त अमेरिका में है। 14 साल की उम्र में इन्होंने रेसिंग, वो जो स्पीड रेसिंग, जो कार रेसिंग होती है, कार्ट रेसिंग होती है, उसके रिकॉर्ड्स तोड़ना शुरू किए। वर्ल्ड और यूरोपियन कार्टिंग चैम्पियन ये बन गए और इन्होंने इस वक्त तक टोटल जो चैम्पियनशिप्स जीती हैं उनकी तादाद है 8। 28 इन्होंने मुकाबले जीते हैं, इंडिविजुअल मुकाबले। पोडियम पर ये मौजूद रहे हैं 55 मरतबा। और उसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें इनकी अचीवमेंट्स की, तो उन्होंने ब्रिटिश F3 की जो हिस्ट्री है उसके अंदर भी रिकॉर्ड्स बनाए हैं और पाकिस्तानी झंडे के साथ ये रेसिंग करते हैं। एशियन हेरिटेज है इनका। देखते हैं ज़रा इनके हवाले से ये कुछ खूबसूरत सी वीडियो। अहमद से हम आपकी मुलाकात करवाएंगे। ब्रिटिश कार्टिंग चैम्पियन बन चुके हैं और आज हमें वक्त दे रहे हैं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम इनाम।
Walaikum salam.
Thank you, Enaam, for joining us. And as you said, we won't be speaking Urdu with you. But can you tell us about the racing background and when did you start this racing activity of yours?
So I started when I was 8 years old, and then I started in go-karting. And then when I became 14, I was world and European champion. And then I went to car racing. So I raced Formula 4. I won British Formula 3. And now I'm in the United States, and I'm, inshallah, I want to race in IndyCar and race in the Indianapolis 500. So this is where I'm at now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm quite tired. It's okay.
Wow. Okay, but as a champion, being tired is not something that you're used to.
No, exactly. We worked very, very hard. We had the first 3 races and we finished on the podium in the first 2, which has been very, very good. Alhamdulillah. And, you know, and I'm very proud to race under the Pakistani flag and to do it. So, you know, I'm really, really happy.
It's the passion that keeps you going. So tell us about your Pakistani heritage and background.
Yes, so obviously my parents come from Pakistan, and I'm very proud to represent, to race under the flag of Pakistan and to be the first person, I believe, in the United States to race under the Pakistani flag, first Pakistani to come on the podium, first Pakistani to win in Formula 3, etc. So, and there's a lot more to come. So I hope everyone can follow me on my journey as I race over here, and inshallah we can become champion, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Inshallah, inshallah. So your start in racing, did it also start with playing racing games?
Yes, exactly. Just like yourself, I was playing on the games, playing with my go-kart. I was very happy. My parents let me follow my dream. You know, it's very unusual. I mean, no one, we didn't know anything about racing or anything like that, but both my mother and father, they didn't stop me from, you know, following my dream. And no matter how unconventional it was. So, you know, I love my parents so much, and I love the support they've given me over the last 13, 14 years for me to get this far. And there's still a long way to go.
So it's a game of speed and thrill and control. What sort of training is required?
I mean, we do quite a bit of physical training, but the rest is all, I'd say, on a talent basis, because we don't really get much practice. So you literally get thrown in the car. Whoever's good is going to succeed. Whoever's not very good is going to sink. It's quite ruthless like that, racing. Mm-hmm. So you got to have the courage, the determination, the willpower to learn, and then you can achieve anything you want. And from a young age, I've always been very determined, because a big motivation I have is I love proving to the world that any Pakistani, given the opportunity, they can be the best in the world. And which is why I love representing Pakistan and being under the flag, wearing green, and I like beating everyone else doing it. So this is my biggest motivation. This is my biggest driving force. Thank you.
Great, and you've spoken very rightly that any Pakistani, if he or she is given the opportunity, they can prove the world that they are champions and they can become champions. Tell me about, if you can tell me about, which track has been the most difficult where you've driven?
There's been quite a few. I did a race called the Macau Grand Prix, which is next to Hong Kong, That was like in the middle of a city. That's like Monte Carlo Grand Prix, but more tight. We did a race in Florida, in Tampa Bay, which was another very tight, with a lot of concrete walls, very dangerous, very easy to crash the car. We've got another race in July, which is in Toronto, in Canada, and that's in the middle of the city again. All these kind of city tracks with the walls very close and, a lot of concrete walls. You have to be very courageous, but also very calculated in your approach as to how much risk you're willing to take.
Finally, I want to ask you what measures should be taken in Pakistan if you want to increase the interest of people in racing?
Well, I mean, first they should start showing the races over there. I mean, they're starting to show Formula One, and inshallah, I hope that they can start showing IndyCar in Pakistan, and that would be very, very good.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. And what are your future plans?
My future plans is to race in the biggest race in the world, which is the Indianapolis 500, which is why I'm here living in Indianapolis. I left my home thousands of miles away from a young age, my parents, all my family behind, to live here by myself to become champion. So I've dedicated my whole life to this, and I'm happy doing it. So,
inshallah. And when you become the world champion, don't forget that I was the first one to interview you.
You're the first person in Pakistan to ever interview me. I will never forget that.
Great. You have to write it in your biography also.
Don't worry, I'll do.
Thank you.
Inshallah, if I become world champion of the world, you'll get the exclusive.
इंशाल्लाह. थैंक यू इनाम, थैंक यू एंड बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर द फ्यूचर एंड व्हाट आर यू डूइंग. इनाम अहमद से हमारी बात हो रही थी और जैसा कि इन्होंने बताया कि बचपन में इन्होंने रेसिंग गेम्स खेलना शुरू किया और फिर उनके वालिदैन जो थे उन्होंने उन्हें इस तरफ इनकरेज भी किया और उनका अपना शौक़ भी था रेसिंग में. उन्होंने हिस्सा लेना शुरू किया, ड्राइविंग के ऊपर महारत हासिल की और अब वो ब्रिटिश का जो ब्रिटिश F3 चैम्पियनशिप है वो भी जीत चुके हैं और भी आने वाले मुकाबलों में उन्होंने हिस्सा लेना है. ख़ास तौर पर इंडियानापोलिस में जो मुकाबला होता है, बड़ी ज़बरदस्त रेस होती है, उसमें उन्होंने हिस्सा लेना है. और पाकिस्तान में अगर हमने इस तरफ लोगों का इंटरेस्ट, थोड़ा सा रुझान बढ़ाना है तो बुनियादी तौर पर सबसे पहला काम ये करना होगा कि इंडी कार रेसिंग को दिखाना होगा, उसको प्रमोट करना होगा, ट्रैक्स बनाने होंगे, इनकरेज करना होगा लोगों को. ये लो बेलुबाब था इस गुफ्तगू का. और ये जो चैम्पियन है इन्होंने वादा भी किया है कि जब ये वर्ल्ड चैम्पियन भी बन जाएंगे इंडी कार के तो फिर एक्सक्लूसिव इंटरव्यू एक मरतबा हम इनके साथ करेंगे. और ज़रा कभी अगर ये पाकिस्तान आए तो इनसे ये भी बात होगी कि भाई कार में बैठ के कुछ मामला हो या कभी हम बाहर गए तो इनके साथ कार में बैठ कर फिर कुछ इस तरह का मामला किया जाए कि लोगों को ये बताया जाए कि ये सारा जो खेल है उसका सिलसिला होता कैसा है.